Welcome to ScaleUp Radio Shorts, the podcast that brings you concise insights from the world of entrepreneurship. I'm Kevin Brent.
And I'm Granger Forson. We are the co-founders of Smart 90, the proven 90-day execution system designed for scaling businesses.
And this short format podcast is brought to you by Smart 90, where we help business owners cut through the overwhelm, define clear strategies, and get things done. If you're tired of ideas sitting on the shelf, visit smart90.co.uk to see how we can help.
Today, we're really excited to dive into some of the fascinating lessons we gleaned from two recent incredible interviews on ScaleUp Radio. We'll be comparing and contrasting the entrepreneurial journeys of Edith Peterhegyi, also known as Babu, from Eden Collection, and Matthew Powell, the founder of WarmZilla.
Both of these interviews offered such unique perspectives on building and scaling businesses, highlighting common challenges and innovative solutions. We'll explore their backgrounds, their approaches to critical business aspects like consistency and cash flow, and much more. Our aim is to give you a taste of their wisdom and encourage you to listen to their full stories.
Kevin, let's kick things off by looking at the very foundations of these two entrepreneurs. Both Babu and Matthew have such distinct backgrounds that clearly shaped their approach to business.
Absolutely, Granger. With Babu, it's fascinating to hear that her entrepreneurial spirit goes all the way back to childhood. She talked about pretending to be a businesswoman at the age of 9, making business cards and even playing with cash. It's clear that the drive was always there.
It really was, and it shows in her products today. Her inspiration for those hidden positive messages in her secret buzz bombs came from something as simple as a soft drink cup with a hidden message that read, "Fall in love," which then led to her marrying the person she was dating. That personal touch and ability to find inspiration in unexpected places truly embodies her brand.
And you see that deep care for her products and customers in everything she does. She discussed the meticulous packaging, making even a tiny soap look beautiful and filled with love. That attention to detail and love for her craft is such a core part of her personality, and it shines through the Eden Collection. Starting from her dining table as a workshop, it truly highlights her dedication and the humble beginnings of her growing business.
Exactly. Now, shifting gears to Matthew Powell, his journey into entrepreneurship started in a completely different world. He began as an apprentice plumber at 18, even working for free just to prove his worth. And let's not forget his 7 years in the fire brigade. That kind of hands-on experience and strong work ethic built a very practical foundation.
It certainly did. Matthew's dedication is evident in how he built WarmZilla, working 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 years straight. That's an immense personal sacrifice driven by a clear vision. And speaking of vision, his innovative and disruptive approach is clear in the creation of Derek, their orange dinosaur character, the oracle of the home services world.
Derek is brilliant, and the story behind him, being based on Matthew's late father, a know-it-all, a bit grumpy retired plumber, really adds a unique and memorable element to WarmZilla's brand. It shows how personal touches can create something truly distinctive, even in a more traditional industry.
It's incredible how both of them, despite such different starting points, channeled their unique foundational traits into building their businesses. Babu with her innate creativity and meticulous care, and Matthew with his raw work ethic and innovative disruption. Now, moving on to another crucial aspect, let's talk about seeking expert advice. It's something both of them touched upon.
Absolutely, Kevin. It's a common theme for many entrepreneurs. With Babu, she mentioned that initially, she found it quite difficult to ask for help. Being a self-taught individual, she really had to learn that reaching out to others is not just helpful, but essential.
That's right. And she highlighted how invaluable it is to connect with people who are already where you aspire to be. She's found that most people are actually happy to offer advice, and it can save you weeks or even months of struggle. In fact, she's now on the other side, helping other small business owners who come to her. It's a great example of paying it forward.
It really is. And Matthew, on the other hand, expressed something similar, but from a different perspective. He actually wishes he had gotten more expert advice earlier in his journey. He learned to be cheeky and just ask, because often people are willing to give advice for free.
Exactly. Matthew's proactive approach is evident in his participation in a business leader group, even led by someone as experienced as Richard Harpin, the former owner of HomeServe. That commitment to constantly gaining insights from peers and established leaders is a testament to how crucial he now sees external guidance.
So while one initially struggled and then embraced it, and the other wished he'd done it sooner, the underlying message is the same. The power of seeking out that expert advice and not trying to do everything on your own. It's truly crucial for accelerating growth and overcoming challenges.
It's a fantastic point, Granger. That willingness to learn from others really can be a game changer. Now, let's pivot to something that's often a silent killer for businesses: consistency. It's a concept both Babu and Matthew have certainly navigated, though in very different ways, I think.
Yes, consistency is a big one. For Babu, it was something she openly admitted was a significant struggle, especially when it came to marketing tasks. She talked about those periods of high energy, sending out newsletters and posting on social media, followed by weeks where things just dropped off. It highlights the real challenges for a small business owner wearing many hats.
Absolutely. It's easy to relate to that burst of activity followed by a lull when other demands take over. But then you look at Matthew, and while he didn't frame consistency as a struggle he overcame, it's inherently built into WarmZilla's operations.
That's right. His business model, with the rigorous vetting of subcontractors and the emphasis on a scalable tech platform, demands consistent service delivery. And his early days, working 14 to 16 hours, 7 days a week, really speak to a relentless, consistent effort, even if it wasn't something he explicitly called out as a lesson learned in the same way that Babu did.
So we have Babu consciously working through her marketing consistency, and Matthew demonstrating it through the very structure and operational discipline of his scaling business. It really shows how consistency, whether a direct challenge or an inherent strength, underpins successful business development.
It does. And speaking of inherent strengths, that brings us beautifully to the next point: self-belief and confidence. It's something both Babu and Matthew truly exemplify, though their paths to it, or expressions of it, are quite different.
It's absolutely crucial, isn't it? For Babu, we heard how she learned to be confident and truly believe in herself. She acknowledged those moments of doubt, which every entrepreneur faces, but emphasized the importance of overcoming them. Her advice to her younger self was so poignant: believe in yourself and start as soon as possible. That speaks volumes about the inner work required.
It really does. And then with Matthew, his entire journey with WarmZilla is a masterclass in unwavering self-belief. From setting out to disrupt a vanilla market to his ambitious goals of a £50 million turnover and global expansion, it's all driven by this incredible confidence and a clear determination to win.
He certainly embodies that proactive, confident approach. It's almost as if he's the living embodiment of the confidence he would advise others to cultivate. Both of them, in their own way, show that this deep-seated belief in what you're doing and in yourself is fundamental to pushing through challenges and truly scaling up.
Absolutely. And from that foundational self-belief, we often run into one of the most practical and persistent challenges for any growing business: financial management, and specifically cash flow. It's something both Babu and Matthew spoke extensively about in their interviews, albeit from slightly different angles. It's truly a universal hurdle, isn't it? For Babu, she highlighted cash flow as a huge challenge, especially for a small family business dealing with wholesale clients and delayed payments. Her practical solution, launching a wholesale website where stockists pay up front before dispatch, is a smart move to mitigate that. She also mentioned becoming incredibly careful with bills once her home became her workshop, which speaks to that lean, personal approach. That's a classic small business owner challenge, figuring out how to manage those receivables. Matthew, on the other hand, also found managing cash flow very difficult, especially given the seasonal nature of his business. His approach has been to bootstrap WarmZilla, reinvesting profits, and introducing services like air conditioning and home covers to help smooth out those seasonal dips.
That diversification is a clever strategy to balance the books year-round, but he also talked about the eye-watering cost of UK-wide TV advertising, which is a massive outlay for a scaling business. He acknowledged that for WarmZilla to reach truly massive-scale external investment, or as he put it, petrol poured over it, might eventually be necessary.
So, while Babu is focusing on optimizing her existing cash flow by getting upfront payments and being super lean, Matthew, while also bootstrapping, is already looking ahead to where external investment could fuel the next level of growth. It really shows how cash flow challenges adapt with the scale and ambition of the business.
Speaking of scaling and challenges, both Babu and Matthew operate in incredibly crowded markets. That brings us to another critical aspect. How do you differentiate yourself when there are so many others doing something similar?
Absolutely. It's a huge question for any entrepreneur. With Babu and Eden Collection, she's in a really crowded market with thousands of natural product businesses. But her differentiation points really stood out in our conversation. She focuses heavily on the aesthetic appeal, the beautiful packaging, the high quality of ingredients, and the incredible care and attention she puts into every single product. And of course, Those unique hidden positive messages in her buzz bombs, they're a fantastic personal touch. She really challenges that idea that handmade products are somehow wonky.
It's that meticulous attention to detail and personal touch that sets her apart in a sea of similar products. For Matthew at WarmZilla, it's a completely different industry, but equally competitive with countless local and online home services providers. His differentiation is all about injecting fun into what he called a vanilla market.
Yes, and you can see that with Derek, the orange dinosaur character, who's the oracle of the home services world. That unique brand identity, the WarmZilla name, and a friendly, helpful, and supportive tone really make them stand out. Beyond the branding, Matthew also emphasized the speed and efficiency of their service and the advanced tech platform that underpins everything, ensuring quality and scalability. He even used TV advertising specifically to build brand awareness and trust, which is a massive differentiator in itself.
So you have Babu appealing to emotion and meticulous craftsmanship, while Matthew leverages quirky branding and cutting-edge technology to disrupt a traditional market. Both found unique ways to cut through the noise, showing there's no single path to standing out.
That brings us nicely to how their operations themselves had to evolve as they scaled. It's one thing to differentiate, it's another to actually deliver that at a growing size.
Absolutely. You hear so many stories of businesses that hit a ceiling because their internal systems just can't keep up. When we spoke to Babu, she talked about what she called big learning curves related to packaging.
Yes, I remember that. She started by selling products unwrapped, then tried single tissue paper, then double, and now she's realizing the necessity of boxes for wholesale. It's a very tangible example of adapting to demand. And she also moved from her home dining table, which was her initial workshop, to a dedicated space. That's a huge step for a small business, showing the physical evolution needed.
It's a great illustration of how growth forces you to refine even the smallest details of your product delivery. Matthew, on the other hand, faced massive operational overhauls due to his rapid scaling. He even said he built WarmZilla twice.
Yes, he did. That really stuck with me. It highlights how the initial bespoke system he put in place just couldn't handle the speed of their expansion. This led him to adopt a global tech platform that integrates all the major software applications to manage the entire customer journey and their vast subcontractor network efficiently. That's a huge leap in operational sophistication.
And it didn't stop there, did it? He also spoke about their recent introduction of an AI assistant, Derek 24/7, to handle all customer inquiries. And that's continuous innovation at its best, showing how technology can really drive efficiency and scalability.
It's fascinating to see the different scales of adaptation. Babu with her packaging and workspace, a very hands-on physical evolution, versus Matthew's complete system rebuilds and AI integration. Both necessary, both critical for their respective paths to scale.
It's clear that both of them, despite their different industries and scales, share a fundamental trait, a very strong growth mindset and immense ambition.
Absolutely. When we talked to Babu, she described herself as really ambitious, and it comes through in her vision. She's not just content with selling products, she aims to become a well-known, trustworthy wellness and lifestyle brand.
Yes, and she's putting that ambition into action. She mentioned planning workshops across the country to connect directly with customers and even teach them how to make products. That's a clever way to build a deeper connection and really solidify that brand trust she's aiming for.
And on top of that, she's launching subscription boxes, which shows a clear strategic move to build recurring revenue and a dedicated customer base. It's all about fostering that community around her brand.
Then you look at Matthew. He's already scaled WarmZilla to a multi-million-pound company in just a few years, but his ambition doesn't stop there. He's aiming for a £50 million turnover in the next 5 years, and his ultimate goal is for WarmZilla to become a global brand.
A global brand across multiple countries, leveraging their scalable tech platform. That's a truly expansive vision. It just reinforces how much he's constantly injecting new life and innovation into the company, which drives the whole culture there.
Both of them truly embody that entrepreneurial spirit where the vision is always expanding. It's not just about what they've achieved, but what they're constantly striving for.
And that brings us nicely to their investment approaches for scaling, which again, while both initially self-funded, show some interesting differences in philosophy for future growth.
Indeed. Babu is particularly proud of building her business with zero initial investment. Her growth has been entirely organic, reinvesting small amounts from early sales to fuel expansion.
Yes, she's really focused on that organic, sustainable growth and prioritizing keeping her products affordable rather than maximizing margins, which is a conscious choice that impacts her funding strategy.
Matthew, on the other hand, also started by self-funding and bootstrapping WarmZilla, reinvesting profits back into the business. But he's very clear that to achieve their ambitious scale, looking at 50 to 100 million turnover, they'll eventually need petrol poured over it.
That phrase really stuck with me. It highlights his recognition that for exponential growth, external investment will be necessary, along with bringing in what he calls the correct people at a high level to potentially lead a more corporate structure, while still maintaining their unique culture.
So while both started lean, Babu seems committed to maintaining that organic, self-funded model as much as possible, whereas Matthew is already strategizing for significant outside investment to achieve his global ambitions. It's a contrast between steady, controlled growth and a readiness for rapid acceleration through external capital. It's truly fascinating to see these two very different yet equally determined entrepreneurs. Despite their varied paths, the common threads of unwavering self-belief and the crucial importance of seeking out expert advice really shine through.
Absolutely. Both Babu and Matthew, in their own ways, demonstrated that believing in your vision, even when faced with doubts or challenges, is non-negotiable, and their experiences vividly illustrate how reaching out to others, whether for free advice or through structured groups, can save you immense time and accelerate your growth.
Indeed, these discussions have really only scratched the surface of the incredible insights that they gained from speaking with Edith Peterhegyi, or Babu of the Eden Collection, and Matthew Powell from WarmZilla. There's so much more to uncover in their full interviews.
To dive deeper into their entrepreneurial journeys and hear all the details, simply search for ScaleUp Radio wherever you listen to your podcasts. You'll find their full episodes there.
And as always, ScaleUp Radio Shorts is brought to you by Smart 90, the proven 90-day execution system for scaling businesses. If you're a business owner who often feels overwhelmed by ideas that never quite get done, you're not alone. Many owners get too involved in daily operations, lack clear growth strategies, or just don't have the right processes and people in place.
That's where Smart 90 comes in. We provide a clear structure for building a business plan that everyone can understand and buy into, with clear goals and deliverables. Our Rhythm 90 software helps establish powerful business habits, allowing you to input your plan, track progress, and drive accountability. It keeps your entire team aligned and accountable for achieving those business goals. Everyone tells you to work on the business more, not in it, but rarely shows you a simple, practical way to do it. Smart 90 helps you step into a new era of business planning where you actively shape and control your business narrative, ensuring every team member aligns with your vision. You can monitor progress and pivot strategies in real time, promoting transparency and actionable insights. Ready for tangible results and unprecedented growth? Let Smart 90 power your transformative journey where vision meets strategy. You can find out more about how Smart 90 can help your business by visiting smart90.co.uk. That's smart90.co.uk.
Thanks for tuning into ScaleUp Radio Shorts. We hope you've enjoyed these insights, and we encourage you to listen to the full interviews with Babu and Matthew.